much does it cost to sell a home in Philadelphia? We will discuss all the fees, including commissions, taxes, city certifications, and more right now. Hey, today we're going to talk about how much it costs to sell a home in Philadelphia. The first expense is agency fees or commissions. Traditionally, half of the total commission is paid to the buyer agency, who represents the buyer, and half is paid to my office at Keller Williams, Philadelphia, as the listing agency. Once all the agencies are paid, then the respective agencies split those fees with their agents, like myself. So as much as I'd like to say I receive the full commission on all sales, it's usually quite a bit less than that after all of the splits. Number two is real estate taxes. The first tax is called the transfer tax, which is approximately 2.1% of the sales price, and it is paid by both the buyer and the seller. So for example, in Philadelphia, they charge 3.28% transfer tax, and in Pennsylvania, they charge 1%. So if you add those two together, it's a total of 4.28% of the sales price that's due at closing. Half of that is paid by the buyer and half of that is paid by the seller. So approximately 2.1% of the sales price to you as the seller is due at closing. Also often as the owner, you've already paid your real estate taxes for the year. So actually at settlement, you'll get a prorated credit paid from the buyer to you at closing for any taxes that have been paid from the day of closing until December 31st. Also, there's a small $113 fee to order a city certification from the city to make sure there's no violations on your property. Then there's just some miscellaneous smaller fees, usually $200 or less, such as notary fees, wiring fees, and any outstanding gas or water balances. At closing, you'll receive something called an ALTA, which is American Land Title Association. It's usually a 2-page document. It'll detail out all of the costs that I'm discussing here today, and then you and the buyer will sign it at the end and you'll receive copies so you know exactly what you've paid. Lastly, you obviously have to pay off your mortgage if you do have a mortgage. The title company will handle that, and they'll pay off any mortgage that you owe at closing, taking it from the net proceeds you have from the sale. If you're selling on your own and not being represented by a professional, you will not have the realtor fees that we discussed, but what you would have is all the other fees such as marketing. That would include photography, signs, brochures, postcards, flyers, multiple listing service fees to list the property. You have to show your house to strangers and much more. In addition, typically buyers are looking at a for sale by owner are bargain hunters, and they expect a significant reduction in the price because they know that you're saving money on all the realtor fees by not being represented by a professional. Want to know more about the market value of your property? You can't count on what your neighbors say it's worth or even what Zillow says. To get the most accurate value, please email me at the address below or call Paul today, and I'll give you the most accurate market value for your property. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any additional questions, feel free to give me a call. If not, have a great day. We'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.